bringing you a kid-friendly radio show. Every Saturday afternoon on YouTube. Broadcasting live at 1 o'clock. Broadcasting live at 1 o'clock. Hello and welcome to our first Brit Kids show with me, Ethan. Hello and welcome to the 10th episode special of the Brit Kids show with me, Ethan.
Hello and welcome to the 20th episode of the Brit Kids show with me, Ethan. Hopefully you like them intros from episode 1, 10 and today's show, episode 20. In today's 20th episode special, we have got the first leaderboard game of November and December, the weekly watch list, and I will have a chat with everyone who I have interviewed from episode 10 to 20. So I have been doing this amazing show for 20 episodes now, so thank you for all of you for sticking around since May. I've got a great December coming up for you, including the chance to co-host the show for the Advent special on the 5th of December. So if you want to co-host, email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com and type your email I want to co-host. And we have also got we'll be also doing the show every week through December, so that is very exciting. So this episode might be a couple of hours late because it takes longer to upload as a video version. So I want to release that the show will now so the video version of the show will now release on Sunday at 1 PM because the video version takes a little bit more editing than when I just used to do audio, and it takes longer to upload to YouTube because I am doing now a video. Also, I will still release the audio version of the show on a Saturday at 1 o'clock on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Castbox, Overcast, Pocket Casts, and Radio Public. I did that in one breath. I'm proud of myself there. So if you don't mind listening to the show, you can get it a day earlier. Or if you like seeing the video version of the show with me and all my guests with their videos on, you can wait around until a Sunday, only a day after, so it's not that long. You have to wait to see this lovelier face again. So here in England, we are now back into a national lockdown, sadly, because of COVID cases rising. So I've not been doing much apart from going to school because it is locked down. My drama group has had to go online again on Zoom. It's doing okay, but it's better in person, but we're making it work. And I also want to say thank you to, not thank you, I also want to say happy birthday to my Nan today. It's her birthday, so happy birthday to you. So I think we should now start off with the show with the first leaderboard game of November and December.
Leaderboard game.
Hello and welcome to the leaderboard game. How are you doing today, Tom?
I'm doing very good, thank you.
So,
how are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So you're the first contestant for the leaderboard game in November and December. So what score do you think you'll get?
I would expect quite a low score, probably.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not on there.
Okay, let's start. Okay, question 1. Joe Biden won the US election earlier this week, but who is going to be the vice president for him? Is it A, Mike Pence, B, Kamala Harris, or C, Ron Carlin? Your time starts now.
B. Kamala Harris.
You are correct. You've got one so far. Okay. Question 4. The first effective COVID-19 vaccine results. Not. Sorry. I said question 4 there, didn't I? Sorry. Question 2. The first effective COVID-19 vaccine results were released this week. But what percentage of people the vaccine can prevent from getting COVID? Is it A, 78%, B, 96%, or C, 90%? Your time starts now.
C. 90%.
You are correct. You are on a roll here. First 2 questions right. That is very good. Okay. I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here started earlier this week. And the show is including Shane Ritchie, Victoria Derbyshire, and who else? A, Mo Farah, B, Lewis Capaldi, or C, Graham Norton? Your time starts now. Pardon?
A. Mo Farah.
You are correct. You've got 3 so far. Okay, question 4. The Scooby-Doo co-creator has died this week, but how old was he? Is it A, 78, B, 94, or C, 82? Your time starts now.
C. 94.
You are incorrect. It was actually C, 82. Okay. Question 5. The UK economy has bounced back from a recession with a growth of what in July to September? Is it A, 11%, B, 15.5%, or C, 32%?
B. 15.5%.
You are correct. You've got 4 so far. Okay. Question 6. There will be an extra bank holiday to celebrate what in 2022? Is it A, Prince Diana's death, B, a COVID remembrance weekend, or C, the Queen's Platinum Jubilee? Your time starts now.
C. The Queen's Platinum Jubilee.
You are correct. Okay, so you've got 5 so far. That is a great score, but we have still got 4 left, so you could even get a better score. Okay, question 7. Joe Wicks is doing a 24-hour challenge in aid of what? Cancer Research UK. A, Cancer Research UK. B, Children in Need, or C, NHS? Your time starts now.
Is it B. Children in Need?
You are correct. You've got 6 so far. You're doing very, very well. Okay, question 8. Which Strictly contestant is out of the competition because of their partner contracting COVID? Is it A, Jamie Lang, B, Harvey, or C, Nicola Adams? Your time starts now.
Is it A?
You are incorrect. It was actually C, Nicola Adams. Okay. Question 8. The Virgin Hyperloop has had its first passenger test this week, but how fast was it? Was it A, 180 miles per hour, B, 107 miles per hour, or C, 98 miles per hour?
Is it A?
You are incorrect. It was actually C. C. It was actually B, 107 miles per hour. You've still got 6, a very good score. There's 2 other last questions. Okay, so question 9. McDonald's is to introduce a plant-based meat alternatives, but what will it be called? Is it A, Mac free, B, Mac meat free, or C, Mac plant? Your time starts now.
Is it C, McPlant?
You are correct. You've got 7 OK. Question 10. Northern England has been the worst hit by the pandemic. But what out of per 1,000 people died in March, between March and July? Is it A 127 per people per 1,000? Is it B 29 people per 1,000? Or C 57.7 people per 1,000?
Is it C?
You are correct. You've got 8 so far. That is one of our highest scores ever on the quiz. And you said at the start, you thought you were going to get a low score. How happy are you?
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I didn't think I would get a high score.
That's good. Okay, thank you for being on the show again today. You've been on twice, I think, on the interview, but you've never done the quiz before, but it's turned out well. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So, Tom got an amazing score of 8 out of 10, which is one of the biggest scores so far in the leaderboard game across all months. So if you want to have the chance to beat Tom in the next leaderboard game of November and December, email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com and type your email, the leaderboard game. So this week's weekly watch list, a submission to the watch list to join Lost in Space, Current War, Alex Rider, Artemis Fowl, The Mandalorian, Tenant, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Goosebumps. Wow, we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now. Is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, available on Amazon Prime with Stars trial, and to watch on Now TV or Sky Cinema. It is about Lloyd Vogel, a clinical journalist, gets equated with a kind-hearted television presenter, Fred Rogers, which was a real television presenter in America, while writing an article on him. With time, the two strike an unlikely friendships. It is based on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which ran from 1968. I had on my script 1668, but it's not that long, to 2001. I would give it a 5 out of 5. It's a great film, and it's a great story about a family and Lloyd Vogel and how Fred Rogers really changed lives. So if you want to watch it, as always, the link is in the description to Amazon Prime Video, Now TV, or Sky Cinema, in the description down below. If you have a TV show or film that you would like to nominate for the watch list, you can leave it in the comments down below, or email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com and type your email, the weekly watch list. So now it is time to talk to all the people from episode 10 to 20 to celebrate the milestone. Here it is. Today we have all the people who I have interviewed from episode 10 to 20 for our 20th special. So let's say hello to all of them. First up is Libby from episode 11. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks.
That's good. Next up is Struan from episode 13. How are you doing today?
I'm good today, thank you.
That's good. Next up is Emma from episode 14. How are you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
That's good. Next up is Genevieve from episode 15. How are you doing today?
Great. Thanks.
That is really good. Next up is Izzy from episode 17. How are you doing today?
I'm not bad, thanks.
That's good. Next up is Ollie from episode 18. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks.
That's good. And finally is Rowan and Petra, but sadly Petra couldn't be here for today from episode 19. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks, Ethan. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Also, Olivia from episode 16 and Cortez from episode 12 sadly couldn't be here today. It's very weird because like I did this last time for like my 10th episode, but I only had like 6 people. But now I've got a lot of people. It's a lot of pressure. Okay, so we'll get into our first like topic of this interview. Quite a big thing here in England. Is what do you think about the new lockdown? Libby, what do you think?
I think it's going to be harder than it was before because we've like been back to normal and then we're going back in again. So it'll be like harder, and I just think that'll be like more strange for everyone and that.
Yeah, so do you think like more people will disobey it than they did last time?
Definitely, because people like have been back to like stuff like going out and that. So then they know like they don't want to stop doing that. So more people will be like breaking the rules and stuff.
Yeah. So what do you think about it, Genevieve?
I think that people will, break the rules because they've been back to normal, and some people are under influence from people like Donald Trump and stuff who tell people that COVID isn't a real thing.
Yeah, and then he got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think, Emma?
I mean, I'm glad that schools are staying open, so like we haven't totally gone into lockdown, because I think we all probably would have struggled if we'd have been off school again. But at the same time, like they put lockdown in place so that like hopefully we can have a good Christmas. But at the same time, by closing the shops now, when is anybody supposed to Christmas shop or anything like
All
that?
online, Amazon.
I know, but
Jeff Bezos will be making a lot of money this Christmas.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about it, Rowan?
So I think it is a good thing because cases are definitely going up very fast, like they were back in March. But I also think that I think it's a good thing because I think that, as in, the cases are going up, but also it's bad because people won't listen to it. But at our school, there's like 300 people in a year. It's a big school, and they're not even like saying masks in classrooms. It's just in corridors.
Yeah.
I mean, Petra and me were wearing masks like from the start of term, but like no one else is wearing them in classrooms. It's really annoying.
Yeah. So, what do you think about it, Izzy?
I think that it's necessary. But I'm not necessarily pleased about it, and I don't think anyone is, apart from a few introverts who would like to stay at home. But I don't know, I guess we're protecting people and just hoping that it goes away soon. But I don't know, at this point, it's just a bit of a kick in the face, if you know what I mean. I wasn't expecting it this soon, but I mean, I think it's for the best. I think we'll be all right. I mean, especially because we're still going to school, I think that's such a good thing. Yeah. And although some people will be complaining about it, I think it is going to keep a lot of us sane.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Ollie?
I think it's good, but I also think it might not work because people might be like sick of going into lockdown, then going back out, and then going straight back in. But it's not. But at least schools are staying open.
Yeah. So that's the good thing. So I've left you to last year, not because I don't like you. It's just because you live in Scotland. So what restrictions has Scotland put in place?
Well, I can't actually remember. I've not looked at the stuff in ages, which is actually quite embarrassing now. I think there's you're not allowed to buy alcohol after 10, I think.
Okay.
And I think some restaurants and cafes get closed down.
So you're not in like a lockdown like here in England?
No, less strict, but still strict. Yeah.
So, do you think it should have been brought in earlier, Libby?
I think when we first heard about it, it should have been like put in place straight away. Because if as soon as we heard about coronavirus and put it in, we probably wouldn't have to be going back in it again now, or like have when we were in it for months. We should have just went in lockdown for about a month or two. Then I think it would have been like gone, and we wouldn't have to lock down again.
Yeah. So, do you think, Genevieve? Do you think the second lockdown should have been put in earlier?
Yeah, probably. I mean, cases have been going up, and that's pretty much the reason why the second lockdown's been in. I know some people who think that the first lockdown should have lasted longer.
Yeah. So, and like the cases were rising in like September, and what could have been a good thing that they would have done it over like half term, so it would have had even more effect because the kids wouldn't have been going to school. So what do you think about it, Emma?
Yeah, I was just about to pick up on that one. I personally think we should have done what Wales did and had like the fire break or whatever they were calling it.
Circuit
with, like,
breaker.
Going into like half term, and like didn't they add an extra week to it or something, and then that would have hopefully brought it all down. Because I mean, schools, like, we are passing it on. I mean, I think we're the kind of secret people passing on this virus, because like so many young people are like, if we're getting it, we seem to be asymptomatic, so no one really knows who's got it. And like,
and then you pass it on to your parents, and they pass it on to people at work, and it just goes on and on. So what do you think, Rowan?
I think it should have been like put in like more restrictions, like the circuit breaker should have been put in like across the whole of Britain back in September.
Yeah.
But I also think the restrictions aren't enough now, because like Mum and I were looking at like this list of like 21 shops, which like kinds of shops which are staying open, and it's literally everything is staying open. It's like, what is the point of a lockdown if you're literally keeping everything open? So yeah, I think it definitely should have been brought in sooner, but I think also the restrictions aren't enough now.
So what do you think about Izzy?
I think that we should have gone into lockdown early in the first one, and we probably should have gone into it earlier now. But I don't think I'm so like, because when the first one, I was very like, oh my god, like we should have done this earlier. I'm so fuming at the government, like, but this time I'm kind of like not as fuming, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's kind of alright. I think, but however, I like really don't believe it's only going to last a month though. I don't know if that's just me, but it's just not going to last a month. It's going to be more than that. I know it is. So
yeah, I agree. So what do you think, Ollie?
I think they should have like did like the fire breaker thing and done it over the half term and added on a week. And also, I don't think it'll last for a month.
No. So, Struan, do you think Scotland should have put more restrictions in earlier?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, you've basically already answered this question. Do you think it should last longer?
I think it'll probably last. I don't want it to last longer, but it'll probably will last way longer than said it's going to last.
Yeah. Do you agree?
I think it's ridiculous that the restrictions are going to be eased the 25th of December. It's like the virus has kindly agreed not to exist on Christmas Day. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know. It's not just going to stop for a day.
Yeah, it's not going to be over by the end of the month. It's definitely not going to be over just for Christmas and then start back again on Boxing Day. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it, because, even if we are still in lockdown for Christmas and stuff, I can't see anybody really following the rules, because, it's going to be practically have been a year since anyone's properly seen their families or anything. And I think everyone's just hoping that we can have a good Christmas. I mean, look at, people like Dominic Cummings in, the government who, broke the rules, so they have chance to, break the rules for Christmas if there are still rules. So, the public are probably going to as well. I mean, in my family, we're okay because, we usually just spend Christmas with me, my mum and my dad, and then my grandma.
Yeah.
Well, my grandma's in our support bubble anyway, so we can have Christmas as normal anyway, even as things are now. But it's everyone else I feel sorry for that can't do that.
Yeah.
It's really annoying for our family because basically my birthday's on the 24th of December, so it's sort of like part of our family tradition to have like family around on the 24th, you know, and it's like that's not going to be happening this year. It's really depressing. So it's interesting that you say that, you know, about spending Christmas with your gran and stuff. You know, it's great that that's not being affected for you, Izzy.
Yeah.
I think that lockdown should last longer, but I don't want it to, but I don't want anyone else to die or to be hurt because of COVID.
Yeah. So do you think they should put more or less restrictions as part of this new lockdown?
I think that they should put more in, because if we put more restrictions in, then it won't last as long. But if we just like have a few restrictions, it'll just always keep changing because they won't work. But if we just put like them in now and set them in place, then it should like go soon. If it does go, it'll go sooner.
Yeah.
I think we should have more restrictions, but some people still won't follow them because the more restrictions there are, the more people will think that they shouldn't follow them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go on, Rowan.
Yeah, I was going to say, I also think, as I said earlier in the interview, about more restrictions I think are necessary. You know, because literally you go into town and like 90% of the shops are still open, you know, apart from the ones which have unfortunately shut down due to the recession and stuff. But like, it feels like everywhere is still open.
Yeah, like I went into Bishop for a hospital appointment the other day, and it was really busy. It was like there wasn't a lockdown, and there was a massive queue for home bargains. It was like halfway down the street.
And isn't places like McDonald's staying open this time?
Yeah, I think they've got the drive-through, and then they like you can't sit in, but you can take it away from like.
But then the queues are always like massive for the drive-through. I mean, I know you're like in the car, but then like you still got to think like, oh, there's stuff at work. I mean, yeah, people need to work, but like I don't know. I feel like McDonald's kind of could furlough because I mean, it's just things like, do they really need to be open? Like Greggs as well, because I mean, I live in a town where there's a Greggs, and I mean, it's great that it's open, but like last time it closed because the queue for Greggs is always massive, and because where our Greggs is, you can't really social distance in the queue because there's just not enough room, and so that's another one that probably doesn't need to be open.
I do think though that Greggs and McDonald's are essential services, you know.
Feeding the nation.
Oh yeah, totally. Joking. I don't think that at all, viewers.
Do you think, Struan, that Scotland should put more or less restrictions in place?
I think they should, because like there's some things that they have restrictions on. It's like something I know of buses. Like you can get away without wearing a mask on a bus, and I know because people are exempt, but you can get away because I've seen people who aren't exempt not wearing a mask. But then there are some things like Tesco's, the Tesco's I know, which is really big, but there's a maximum amount of people. So there's a weird thing like on some restrictions it's higher than some it's less.
Yeah, so like with like the local lockdown system before in England and things, and with like Wales and Northern Ireland and Scotland and England having all different rules, people in like maybe people in England will think, oh yeah, I can go out because Scotland can go out, so why can't I? So yeah. What do you think about if it should be more or less restrictions, Izzy?
Well, this is going to sound a bit weird, but I always feel like if you do it more stricter, people are going to take it more seriously, because I always feel like you kind of act with the restrictions kind of 1 degree down to what they say, if that makes any sense. Like if you say, you know, you can go and meet, I don't know, like however many people, you might meet maybe 1 more or 2 more, like, oh, it's fine, like it's only 1 more person. And I think if you like put it up more, people obey. I can't really explain it. I'm not explaining it very well, but I just feel like if you make it stricter, people are going to take it more seriously and are going to act better. But I just think it's stupid to think that everyone will like completely stick to the rules completely. So I just think maybe stricter would be better. If we're going to be in a month lockdown anyway, we might as well like hammer it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, we might as well go all out.
What things do you think they could add on to it, Izzy?
I'm not quite sure. Maybe like, I was thinking the other day, maybe like a week in school, a week out of school, or maybe just year 11s and 13s.
But that's like a problem with with parents working and things.
Yeah,
it's a whole problem with.
I guess we did it last lockdown though, didn't we? I mean, the key worker children can still go in. I don't know, maybe something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think about it, Ollie?
I think that there should be more, because when I go places now, the roads are really busy, but like last lockdown they were, and for my family it's basically just the same, because my mum works in a school, I go to school, and my dad works in an essential shop.
Yeah, so that's the same with my family kind of thing. My dad works at school, my brother works at co-op and a pharmacy place, and my mum's the only one that's at home. So guess what, we're now on to the third topic. It's been we're gonna just touch on this because it's been quite big in the news this week, and I know Struan actually knows quite a lot about it, so I'll be talking to him about it. So we'll start with it. What do you think about what's happened with the US election this week? Let's start with Emma.
Oh, well, I think the worry for everyone is, because obviously like it's very close between Biden and Trump, isn't it? But like I think Biden's now kind of taken it. But I think the worry is that if Biden gets in, that Trump won't hand it over. And apparently it's been said that if Trump doesn't get it, that his supporters are going to go out and start shooting people. Which it'll be a massive worry for America, because I mean, me and my friends at school, we think it could just cause a civil war. And I mean, especially in my year group, there's a girl that's just moved over from America. Now, she was so pleased because where she used to live had voted for Biden, but like she's now really pleased that she's over here, because she thinks it's just going to be complete and utter chaos and horribleness over in America because of it all.
And Trump's saying like, yes, they've miscounted votes, they've counted illegal votes, and he doesn't have at all any proof, but he's suing Biden. What it's on now, I've just searched it up. Joe Biden's got 264. I don't know what this means, but 264, he needs 270 to win. And Donald Trump has got 214, and it's the he's got the biggest amount. Joe Biden's got the biggest amount of votes that any other president has got before in a presidential election. So what do you think about it, Genevieve? Because your mum is American, isn't she?
Yeah, and my family living in America, luckily all of them are voting for Biden, but I am actually really worried about what happens if Biden wins and Trump loses and he basically throws a tantrum. Because then,
like Ethan's doing now,
lots of my family live in, because lots of my family live in different parts of America, and if his supporters do go and start shooting people, then I am really worried for them.
Yeah. So what do you think about it, Rowan?
I think if Trump wins, it'll be a bloodbath, and if Biden wins, it'll be a bloodbath. So I think either way, it's going to be pretty nasty. Because you know, Trump, if he gets in, he'll probably like do weird things, like, you know, start a civil war or something. If Biden gets in, because there are so many guns, you know, so many people have guns in America, and that's legal for some reason. I think that lots of people will start rebelling. So it's not a country I'd want to live in at the moment.
No. What do you think about it, Izzy?
Well, I've got something quite funny talking about Trump having a tantrum. So do you guys know Greta Thunberg?
Yeah.
Unreal 10 out of 10 lass. Anyway, she had this whole thing last year about where she did a speech and about the climate. And basically, Donald Trump tweeted that she was so ridiculous. Greta must work at her anger management problem, then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. Chill, Greta, chill. So then when Donald Trump tweeted, "Stop the count," she retweeted it and said the exact same thing. So ridiculous, Donald must work on his anger management problem. Do you know what? I just found that pretty funny because that's quite a sick burn, isn't it? Because he does have an anger management problem. Because at the end of the day, I'm very worried that he's going to completely finesse the entire system and make it seem like it's been illegal, like make it seem like it's all, you know, like, but everyone knows that he shouldn't be the president, like anyone in the right mind anyway.
And he doesn't have any proof to support his case.
Yeah, no proof. I'm very, very, very happy that Biden is winning, like incredibly happy. However, like I'm absolutely terrified. Like, I think no doubt if Biden does end up winning, there will be some sort of civil war. I mean, gun buyings, or however you say, have already gone up. Like, shops are boarding their windows. Like, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to sit back and watch. There's not much we can do, can we? Like over here, but
yeah.
I've literally been checking the internet like it's a social media page this week. Like, how many votes? Literally in England, like it doesn't really yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about it, Libby?
Well, to be honest with you, this is the most I've heard about it, because I haven't really been following the story, to be honest. But I heard that Trump was going up against another dude, and of course I wanted the other dude to win because I don't like him. I don't really like Trump, and I don't think he's very good, so that's all I say about it.
So, Struan, what do you think about it? I've heard you like US politics, and you watched the election, and then you had like an American themed dinner. I've heard all of this.
Yeah. So I read this thing earlier saying there was a scenario which was possible that Trump and Biden could both get 269 votes, which would be a four. So after millions and billions of pounds spent on campaign, they both would draw. So it'd be
what happened there?
Just like the way that I think some states divide up their votes.
Yeah.
And after that, I would just find that quite funny. But I think Biden is definitely going to win.
Yeah.
Because Trump would have needed a miracle to win it right now.
Yeah.
Because Biden's off by 6 points. 6 electoral points?
Yeah, it's 6, yeah.
Yeah. And Trump would have needed so many states and Georgia, which Biden was polling ahead in and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think Biden will definitely win. But I think Trump's got time to file his lawsuit because Biden isn't president until January 15th. So I think Trump does have time to throw a tantrum.
Yeah, but I think Joe Biden has his legal team ready to do anything that they need to do, really. So that's really the end of that topic. So that was the first part of that interview because we were talking for an hour and a half on Zoom, because with the free version on Zoom you can only have for 40 minutes. So we had to go on there 3 times to get all of the conversations out, all of our 4 or 3 topics. So I decided to split it into 2 episodes. So the next part will be next episode 21, on the on the 28th on audio and the 29th on video. So do subscribe to check that out as well. So if you have something to talk about and you would like to do on this show, email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com and title your email interviews. Sadly, that is all we have time for this week in the 20th episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks on the 28th of November on audio and the 29th of November on video with another weekly watch list. We will see if anyone can beat Tom and in the leaderboard game, and we will have part 2 of that big interview talking about school in the pandemic and Christmas and how it will be different this year. Please share this video with your friends and family. Comment, like, listen to last week's episode if you haven't already. Listen to this show until the end. Email me and subscribe because we are trying to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. Or follow me, favorite or review or whatever your listening platform does. It really does help out. In the meantime, if you have any suggestions to make the show better or about the Brit Kids Gaming Show, or if you have something to talk about, or if you want if you have a TV show or film that you'd like to nominate for the watch list, or if you want to have the chance to co-host an episode, or if you want to have the chance to beat Tom in the leaderboard game, comment below, voice message me on Anchor, or email me at thebritkidshow@gmail.com. So that is all we have time for in this special episode at the 20th. I can't believe it. We'll be back in 2 weeks at the same time, but for now, goodbye.
Bringing you a kid-friendly radio show every Saturday afternoon on YouTube, broadcasting live at 1 o'clock. Broadcasting live at 1 o'clock.